box and fill it with Kool-Aid and sit here and chug it while we're doing the show.
It's like,
If I had an empty bleach bottle, that's exactly what I'd be doing. Put some of the clear Powerade, pour it in a glass. And
Scotch.
Shots of bleach. Oh my goodness.
Oh god damn it. It was hard doing first coffee today because I woke up to all these. Like, I saw a couple of people posting about, did he just seriously talk about injecting disinfectant? And I was like, I can't process that yesterday. I'm like, I'm not diving into that, whatever the fuck that is. My mom messaged me yesterday. I didn't see it till this morning. She was like, okay, I really feel like I've maybe dropped into a universe all on my own. I think he just said we're supposed to start injecting disinfectant.
He indeed did say
what
that. Is that Mike?
The fuck? It's definitely in there.
Fair.
Yeah, Ginny said, morning, people. Are we celebrating with Lysol martinis? Yes. Yes. That was the first thing Greg says. I want to get a bleach bottle and just get some Gatorade and be like,
Yeah, put some of the clear Powerade in there and just start pouring out shots
God.
of bleach and
or
drinking.
Fucking scotch. Jesus Christ. Anyway.
So this is where we are. And the most disturbing thing is not that he actually said that. It's that this morning,
yes,
people are defending that online. Oh, that's not what he said. You misread the punctuation. No, motherfucker. He said, shine ultraviolet light into people's lungs, inject them with disinfectants. And that's maybe that works, maybe that doesn't. All right, well, okay. You know what? Shooting yourself in the head. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. We don't know. We haven't really tried it yet. Putting a gun to your head, pulling the trigger, maybe that cures coronavirus. I mean, we don't know.
God.
Maybe that's true. Maybe it's not. So he didn't actually say that. He just
but that's always the way, though, right?
Speculatively.
We could try it, though, right? We can try.
We can try.
It'll be fun.
Worst president ever is an understatement.
Yeah. Like a dramatic understatement.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we got to give him a chance, Corey. We're being unfair. We've been being unfair since election day when we said this is going to be a fucking disaster. Oh well, you guys are just you fucking hate him. You don't want to give him a chance. Okay. We're all locked in our houses and there's a pandemic on the loose and he's stealing fucking PPE equipment from states.
Okay, we need to
hijacking shipments of PPE.
I remember hearing about that a couple weeks ago. I'm like, that just can't. I mean, what? And then over and over and over again to the point where like states are having to go fucking like covert to get shit into their states,
sneak stuff into their states
like that. That needs to be. And they apparently, I thought I saw something yesterday about Congress at least setting up the mechanisms to start investigating this or like this kind of thing. Because I mean, like motherfuckers need to get arrested or something, right?
Well, but who's going to do that? The Justice Department,
right?
I mean, we're at a point where, like yesterday, Mishi was very, very angry and upset, and like, well, what do we do? What can we do? Shouldn't somebody be doing that? Well, we build a time machine, and we go back to 2015 and early 2016, and we convince 1 million more people to vote for Hillary Clinton. No,
like 80,000 people.
I understand, but
swing states,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like there's nothing we can do now except start making phone calls for fucking Joe Biden. That's where we are. We can't take it for granted that Trump is going to be gone in November. We have to actually work for that goal.
Yeah.
Agreed. All of us, even those of us that are dyed in the wool Bernie supporters, even the ones of us who don't think Joe Biden is the best possible option as president, we have to do that work. If we don't do that work, how good do you think things are going to be a year from today if he wins a second term? How much better do you think things are going to get? What positive things do you think a second term of Trump is going to bring us? Are you asking yourself that question? Like, so when people are upset and angry, I'm like, well, how much have you done to get Joe Biden elected president?
Yeah, that's the only lever, right? Like, we can. It's all
we have left.
It's all just talk and bullshit, unless that's what we're doing. I can only agree.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
the Dems won't let him get anything done, as a Republican told me. Okay, except for the first 2 years of his 2/3 of his presidency so far, when he had control of both the Senate and the House. Couldn't
Yeah.
get anything done. Fuck you. Yes, he did. He got a
was
lot done. He
yeah,
locked a
he
lot of.
was
He killed a lot of children at the border. He got a lot of children sexually abused and molested at the border. Let's see what else. He increased anti-Semitic and anti-Muslim hate crimes by 20 to 30% in every state in the union. He's gotten a lot done, despite not having the support of fucking anybody that I know. I'm aghast at where we are. I'm horrified, and I'm worried that it's going to get worse if we don't win this election in November. I can't imagine it's going to go better if he wins a
yeah,
second term.
no, it's the difference. Very seriously. I've been digging into the economic shit a lot, right?
Yeah.
It's the difference between a 5-year recovery and a 10-year recovery.
I got to tell you, best case,
just economically.
Okay, economically, but best case, I think we're in a 30-year repair cycle after this. Because how easy do you think it's going to be to reinvigorate or re-empower the EPA after this?
Yeah, again, it's just strictly speaking economically. Yeah, no, I mean, well, so it's either Greg, it's either going to be 30 years or 10 minutes, right? Because if we win and there's 1 million dead, which honestly, the second wave is now, I think, 100% assured. Right, everything that we did, to try and stop this, because we're closing it or opening everything up too early, will all be for nothing. It will literally all be for nothing, which is really fun. Like, fucking welcome to Friday's pep talk, right? Like it's insane. So like, and Biden wins, and we're like, okay, well, we've had a year of this, like, we have this opportunity to not fuck this up. And then they actually do some
but
things
Republicans
that
are going to say, but under Trump, the air got cleaner, the water got cleaner. Look at the numbers.
And honestly, like,
then they're going to try and depend on scientific research. When in fact, it got cleaner because we shut everything in the fucking country down for a year.
Right. By win, I mean we take the Senate and the Congress and the presidency, and we don't, like, honestly, talking to Republicans is fucking pointless.
Yeah.
Like, we know that, right? Like, anything a Republican has to say at this point doesn't matter unless their name is Justin Amash or, frankly, Mitt Romney. So there's two, right? Like that, and if he loses, maybe after there's 1 million dead, we're going to start to see the, like, I never voted for Nixon. I mean, Trump. Like, we might start seeing some of that stuff, but who gives a shit at this point? Seriously, if you're a Republican and you still support this guy, nothing you say matters. Like, it literally doesn't matter what you say because it's fucking garbage. And you've been ingesting fucking lie cakes every day to the point where none of us can really trust anything that you think because you're an idiot. Yeah. Anyways, fucking good times.
Okay, Don Arbogast asking the question. Wait, if we get the presidency, the House, and the Senate, can't we reinstate the norms? Sure, but Republicans are going to fight re-empowering EPA, FDA, and CDC. Those institutions, they've been fighting to drown those institutions in the bathtub. That's literally their operating condition for the last 10 years. Do you think they're going to just roll back on that and say, we were wrong?
There's a lot. No, there's a lot we can do to just get it set back up again. The whole problem is the word norms.
Right. But we got to hire, like all the people that have fled from government agencies, regulatory agencies in the past 3-4 years, they're probably, most of them, all working in the private sector. How easy do you think it's going to be to tempt them back to a bureaucratic job that didn't pay them as much as the private sector to do urgent oversight work on environmental policy, on food policy, on drug policy?
That is a solvable thing. He's like,
it's going to take decades.
It could take an hour and a half.
I don't think
that's all I'm saying. Happen. I think you're probably right, but I'm saying it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
Right. Like, like if you say, okay, we're actually going to, like, Greg and Corey are in charge now. Right. Like, we're actually going to spend, we spent $8 trillion on bullshit. So that's our budget. So Greg and Corey with $8 trillion, we could fucking get everybody back. Right? Like, do a Green New Deal, tell everyone to fucking work from home and give businesses credits for it. Like, we could fucking spend $8 trillion and make this fucking thing start working, I think, pretty well. And if Greg and Corey can do it, then, AOC and fucking everybody else who suddenly has all the levers, and Biden, who actually listens to experts, can at least do something. Right. And they're going to be, whatever.
Dave Myers. Sorry I'm late. I was up all night coughing, drank some Clorox and fish tank cleaner, feeling much better now.
Yeah. That's where we start today.
Yeah,
Good morning, Dave.
ideally, Donna Arbogast, you are correct. With those three things in hand, the presidency, the Senate, and the House, we could change things back immediately. But the recovery process from what the damage that's been done is going to be long term. It's not going to be. Things will not get back to normal. Frankly, I don't think things should get back to normal. I think, I like the idea that before we rush back to normal, why don't we reconsider what parts of normal are worth rushing back to?
Right. I mean, we
I'm finding
do have
people
an
that aren't
opportunity
working now. They're home and they're exhausted. And I'm like, well, that's because cumulatively you've been working your face off to pay your mortgage and your rent and stressing about everything every minute of the day for the past 20 years as this has slowly ramped up. And now all of a sudden it all got yanked out from under you. It's no wonder you're exhausted without working, because you've had time to slow down and think about how fucked up we are. And I'm sorry for all the F-bombs this morning, but I'm in a feisty mood. I'm like, yeah, how do we fix this? We built a fucking time machine. We broke this by not insisting that our friends were idiots to say, well, Hillary and Clinton or Hillary and Trump are the same. No, they fucking weren't. And this is the proof. This is how we know. And we were not wrong. And I'm just mad as hell that I'm right about this. Not excited about being right about this. It's not making me happy. Oh, you just want Trump to fail. No, I want us not to fucking crash into a mountaintop. Yeah, that's what I want.
That ship has sailed, motherfuckers. You don't want Trump to fail. I mean, Trump failed. Minute one, he failed. And then he's only been failing ever since. Period. It's not like... Yeah, it's already fucking done. It's just done. Hey, remember those times where you're like, man, I hope it sure isn't as bad as we think it's going to be. And then it got 50, 100 million times worse.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I mean... this is worse than we predicted, and we were accused of being horrible people.
I thought, honestly, I thought we were being hyperbolic when we were talking about it in 2015 and 2016, but those were genuine worries. Nowhere fucking close. Not even a little bit close to how bad it is.
This is landing on our friends. This is landing on people we know and love. Holly Brown, just out of surgery from the VA, fighting with them for every scrap of benefit that she's more than due.
Yeah.
Right. This is landing on people that we love. God damn it. And I'm sick of it. I'm just sick of having. And this morning, Trump 2020, he's still your president. When we're talking about him fucking advising people that maybe injecting bleach is a good thing. How are you fucking defending that?
It's not really what he said, Greg.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, we should probably read
the exact quote.
I've pasted that.
I see the disinfectant that knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? As you see, it gets in the lungs. It does a tremendous number on the lungs. So it would be interesting to check that. Yeah. Guess what? Injecting fucking Clorox into your lungs. It's not a good idea.
It doesn't really mean inject. It means more like spraying, I think. The Clorox bottle, I think you were on it. It's not really injecting. It's just spray Clorox. Just put chlorine.
I like Trump because he says what he means.
Right, exactly.
I like Trump because he says what he means. Oh, he didn't mean that. Fuck you. You can't have both. You cannot have both. I'm fucking mad at everybody who thinks that in one situation it's okay to say that. Oh, that was me banging on my desk. I'm over here. I'm ranting.
I
check the door.
I laughed at it.
I laughed at. Everybody says hi.
That's funny.
I'm dumbfounded. I keep telling myself I can't get any more surprised. I can't be more disappointed and more surprised.
That's not how any of this works.
Oh my God. I don't know. I really didn't think I was this angry this morning, but it turns out.
Oh. That's fair. Okay, so just as a little aside, and I don't know the lady's name. I didn't know the guy's name who ran fucking TED Radio Hour either, but there is a new host for the TED Radio Hour, and they're very good. And I think it's really, for me, has been vital to just not fucking pay attention to this as often as I can. Yeah, because it's gonna come back either way, right? You're gonna spend a certain portion of your day going oh, cool, well, the death count's not going down, and fucking and Doreen was just talking about Oklahoma, is talking about opening back up. Our city just reached its highest death toll yet, and it's probably the worst hotspot in Oklahoma. So I know you're doing everything that you can do, Doreen, to stay safe. Please keep doing that. But yeah, everything that I'm seeing now is suggesting that they're going to open up, and in 2 to 3 weeks, it's going to be a fucking bloodbath everywhere.
Yep.
And like the places that did it right, they're going to have to do it all over again. Because, states don't have walls yet.
Oh, man.
Anyway.
Just super discouraged. Super
Yeah,
discouraged.
no, that's fair. I mean, and the biggest thing is like, it's like, I'm so grateful that you always take this. If you're not making phone calls or knocking doors or doing whatever, then you're just you're not doing anything. Because like I want to say, okay, well the polling is really, really good, but so fucking what? The polling was really, really good last time.
Good for Hillary Clinton.
That's right. Like that. Like I try to find solace in that, and we don't deserve to find solace in that because we didn't work hard enough last time. And which goes right back to why I like, dude, I'll tell you right now, and I talked to Greg about this privately or whatever, and I think about it all the time about fucking quitting this. It's like wrecks my brain and hurts my heart all the time, and it's fucking, this is not fun all the time. I mean, you people are fucking fantastic, so believe me, it gets to be fun. But I mean, it'd be so much easier to just fucking stick my head in the sand. It really would. Yeah. Just like listen to TED Talks and like fucking, yay, everything's fucking fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just want to share funny pictures. I feel like that's the best thing we could do right
now.
That's
and this is the thing, right? Instead of quit, take breaks. That's really that's where I sort of land on that.
Yeah. Well,
because it's the height of my privilege talking that I can even consider it. So anyways, funny pictures. I mean, there's a reason why we are building the Meme Wars app, because we like funny pictures too.
Yeah.
Church on Sunday.
Thank you guys. We're talking about quitting, but we're not gonna fucking quit.
No, Greg, no. I was, because I'm a weak, pathetic piece of shit. Greg was like, "Fuck you, throw your body on the machine, motherfucker." That translating slightly.
Yeah. I mean, I do have this week when we missed Monday, I was relieved. I was like, okay, I could use some rest, right? Because this is what happens when I'm, I don't know, I'm kind of passively filtering. I see a million things in my newsfeed every day. I do not click on them all. So I have not watched any of the videos of the fucking idiots protesting to reopen everything. I haven't watched any of those videos because people, have you seen the video? No, I know it's happening, and I'm so disheartened and angry that I can't afford to replace my computer monitor today. So I'm not going to risk. I'm not going to do anything that risks me wanting to punch my monitor in the face.
That's smart. That's super smart.
I can't watch it all. I know it's happening, and I know it's worse than I think it is. That's the thing. I'm trying to maintain some sanity here. In my little corner of the world, it's pretty sane. We have food, we have power, we have electricity. We're okay. But the world is going to shit around us, and I'm really worried that that's going to accelerate. I'm really worried about a second huge surge now.
Yeah,
the 1918 model. Which there are plenty of graphs to show you exactly what happened when they took social distancing measures off too soon, and had a much bigger wave of death than the first one. It was worse than the first wave, and I really, because we don't know enough about this particular virus, I'm really worried that's where we're going.
There's gonna be 50 to 100 New Yorks. It's what it's gonna boil down to, right? I mean, and this is what I always look at, like what's stopping that from happening. And the only thing that I could sort of, I've been looking at, is that there's a possibility that the number of infections are actually 20 times more than what we think there is.
So more people will have sort of a herd immunity head start here.
The death toll is only 5 or 10 times higher than the flu, instead of 20 or 100, right? Which is great. And we might be closer to a plausible herd immunity, but I really don't know.
Dave Myers, sure, you're safe in your corner of the world with food and power, but what about the worldwide shortage of injectable bleach? Think of the children.
That's a huge problem. I mean, that's the thing we need to deal with now.
Oh my God. Yeah,
Yeah.
Donna's making the point. Everybody thought it was gone or they had antibodies, and they didn't. We are seeing, some evidence of reinfection from people who've already had it.
Yeah,
That
I
means it's
haven't
mutating.
I haven't seen enough on that
Yeah.
to kind of have a feeling about it one way or the other. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's I'm finding myself reaching for just like long shot hopes. Well, and one of them is like they're going to open these places up, and it's not like there's not smart people in Oklahoma. Dream being case in point as an example, right? They're going to open it up. There's going to be a lot of shit or whatever, but it's not like literally everyone will just resume life as normal, right?
Yep.
So it won't have the kind of spread that you have in New York because population density isn't anywhere higher, but like anywhere with a mass
I thought you said copulation density. I was like, I'm all for copulation.
Hello. I mean, population density is something that should probably be discussed more.
Yeah, hallelujah. Fred Ader with the comment of the day here. So we're protesting to go back to jobs that we hate. Why would we do that? I want an online protest in favor of UBI. There you go. Yeah, but that's socialism. Can't have that. Ginny says Spanish flu was also unfortunate enough to happen during war, so troops traveling spread it far and wide. Not to mention most countries, but Spain was allowed to report on it, and it didn't actually originate in Spain, if I understand that correctly. Like the first major outbreak was Oklahoma. That yeah,
was it Oklahoma for the
somewhere
Spanish
in the
flu?
Midwest? Somewhere in the Midwest.
Fucking Oklahoma.
Yeah, yeah. Why is this? Please, Boxer Cat, tell us why this is a happy dance or a happy day for you. I would like to. Oh, unemployment payment. Nice, good for you. Only 3 to 4% of the 10 million Floridians. 10 million?
Not 10 million.
No.
I think it was 1.6 or 1.7
it's a lot.
million.
The 3%, 3 to 4% of all unemployment claims so far in Florida have been approved. 3 to 4%. Why? Because our last governor, now our senator, broke the unemployment system on purpose so it would make his numbers look better during the economic downturn in 2008, 2009, 2010. So that's how we got here. Yeah.
Yep. So anyways, Science Day.
Science Day. I'm not trying to brag or nothing, but I might have somebody working on getting me a parking pass for the return to manned spaceflight launch.
I heard about that.
Yeah, can't get it yet. It's like a 14-day window to apply for them, so he's gonna hit the button.
Right. When is that again?
May 24th. A month from today, as a matter of fact. So 2 weeks out, my friend is going to fire off his request for a parking pass, and I may be able to actually go to see a manned space launch, which will be my first one since the Hubble repair mission. That's the last launch I went to. That's a while ago now. Yeah. Oh, that explains it. Jorene's a transplant to Oklahoma. She's trying to inject a little smartness into the state of Oklahoma.
Apparently, we're going to start sending ventilators to El Salvador.
Cool.
Yeah. Because it's over now. It's over now. We're good. Everything's fine now. How are you?
Yeah. Yeah, I also have not received stimulus yet. I'm told that the way they're processing the people on SSI is different than the way they're processing everybody else, even though I filed my taxes in 2018 and received a refund electronically. I'm in the basket with the SSI people now, and I'm not even sure I'm going to get anything. Fortunately, I'm not married to an immigrant, because now we find out that no one who's married to an immigrant is eligible for the stimulus check.
Yeah, unless they have a social security number.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, when I only had a green card,
you wouldn't have been eligible.
Right. I mean, we're okay anyway, but like,
and who's affected like that? I don't know. Poor people who
that's exactly it.
Afford to get through the immigration process from home before they came here.
Yeah, and so they're gonna have to go and dig ditches and fucking do whatever they can out in public to like that's, and it's affecting poor communities more than anyone. Honestly, I think like everybody in a poor community should just go lick every doorknob they can.
Do you know in Texas, one of the things they put in place in the stay-at-home order was a ban on abortion services. So women from Texas who need abortion services are having to travel to other states during the lockdown to get taken care of. You know,
Cool. Yeah.
I
Science
can't
Day,
believe we're
cool.
having to tell all the all lives matter people that all lives fucking matter. Are you shitting me? All lives matter, not just Black Lives Matter. Well,
Yeah.
okay, Sparky.
Yep.
Man, Science Day, cool. Yeah, sorry, I'm not.
Yeah,
really, I didn't do any prep for that. Let me see what I can find.
let's Google it. Fucking find me a
Yeah.
goddamn science story that doesn't include disinfectant, chlorine, or bleach.
Okay. Oh, okay. Here's one, and I haven't read this article yet, so we can bust this one together. This is an article from it's from Pocket. I think it's actually I actually don't know what publication it is. Give me just a second, but I got a good one for us here. I got a good one that will not by any means make any of the rest of us mad. Gosh, it doesn't say what publication this is from, so that's maybe it's just from Google. I don't know. Pocket worthy stories to fuel your mind. Let me get where I can share the link with you guys. Sorry, guys, I'm totally unprepared for any of this today. Carl Sagan's baloney detection kit.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Carl Sagan's rules for critical thinking offer cognitive fortification against propaganda, pseudoscience, and general falsehood. This is from his book, The Demon Haunted World. I would strongly recommend you read as many of the Carl Sagan nonfiction books as you can, although he wrote Contact, which is really good fiction. But Science as the Demon Haunted World, Science as a Candle in the Dark is a fantastic book, and I have read it. It says through training, scientists are equipped with what Sagan calls a baloney detection kit, a set of cognitive tools and techniques that fortify the mind against penetration by falsehood. The kit is brought out as a matter of course whenever new ideas are offered for consideration. If the new idea survives examination by the tools in our kit, if we grant it warm, although tentative acceptance, if you're inclined, if you don't want to buy baloney, even when it's reassuring to do so, there are precautions that can be taken. There's a tried and true consumer tested method. But the kit, Sagan argues, isn't merely a tool of science. Rather, it contains invaluable tools of healthy skepticism that apply just as elegantly and just as necessarily to your everyday life. By adopting the kit, we can all shield ourselves against clueless guile and deliberate manipulation. Here are the 9 tools in that kit. 1, wherever possible, there must be independent confirmation of the facts. 2, encourage substantive debate on the evidence by knowledgeable proponents of all points of view. 3, arguments from authority carry little weight. Authorities have been mistaken in the past. They will do so again in the future. Perhaps a better way to say it is that in science, there are no authorities. At most, there are experts. 4, spin more than one hypothesis. If there's something to be explained, think of all the different ways in which it could be explained. Then think of tests by which you might systematically disprove each of the alternatives. What survives the hypothesis that resists disproof in this Darwinian selection process among multiple working hypotheses has a much better chance of being the right answer than if you had simply run the first idea that caught your fancy. 5, try not to get overly attached to a hypothesis just because it's yours. It's only a way station in the pursuit of knowledge. Ask yourself why you like the idea. Compare it fairly to the alternatives. See if you can find reasons for rejecting it. If you don't, others will. 6, quantify. If whatever it is you're thinking, if whatever it is you're explaining has some measure, some numerical quantity attached to it, you'll be much better able to discriminate among competing hypotheses. What is vague and qualitative is open to many explanations. Of course, there are truths to be sought in the many qualitative issues we are obliged to confront, but finding them is more challenging. 7, if there's a chain of argument, every link in the chain must work, including the premise, not just most of them. 8, Occam's razor. This convenient rule of thumb urges us, when faced with 2 hypotheses that explain the data equally well, to choose the simpler. And Corey's waiting to bang on me for a Sasquatch now. I can hear it. I can feel it. 9.
No, you just did it for me. Thanks.
Always ask whether the hypothesis can be, at least in principle, falsified. Propositions that are untestable, unfalsifiable are not worth much.
They're not worth anything.
Consider the grand idea that our universe and everything in it is just an elementary particle, an electron, say, in a much bigger cosmos. But If we can never acquire information from outside our universe, is not the idea incapable of disproof? You must be able to check assertions out. Inveterate skeptics must be given the chance to follow your reasoning, to duplicate your experiment, and to see if they get the same result. That is just, by God, good advice. And it goes on to list like the 20 bad types of argument: ad hominem, argument from authority, argument from adverse consequence, appeal to ignorance. Yeah, adverse consequence. But what if but what if we abort the next Einstein? That's a pretty good argument from adverse consequence.
Yeah, that's an argument for 10xing early childhood education, not in the United States, but around the world.
Yep.
Which honestly, I think we should do anyway.
Yep.
Yes, and
yeah. There we go. So that's I put the link right in the thread there so you guys can check on that. Some science news from Dave Myers in my message bin. What? Crazy. We have the first ever credible evidence of someone being killed by a falling meteorite.
What?
On August 22nd, 1888, according to multiple documents found in General Directorate of State Archives of the Presidency of the Republic of Turkey, a falling meteorite hit and killed one man and paralyzed another in what is now Sulaymaniyah in Iraq.
Huh.
This constitutes, according to the research, the first ever known proof of death by meteorite strike, and it hints there could be more records out there hiding in archives waiting to be discovered. That's pretty cool. I'll put the link in if anybody wants to read the rest of that article. That's really cool. I mean, it's not cool for that dude in Turkey, but it's cool as a new scientific fact, I guess.
Yeah, it's all fun and games till you're the guy that gets killed.
Yeah, if only I could pick who gets hit by a meteorite, the world might be a better place today.
Yep.
Yeah, Mike, I'm not sure what happened with your audio. Everybody else is reporting that they get it. So, yes.
Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln.
Yeah, Fred, his section about wanting to believe his neighbor has a dragon in his garage is brilliant. The dragon defies all possible proof. Yeah. You guys, I know that you guys hear us argue about Sasquatch sometimes in a way that it's pretty clear that my scientific proof for the existence of Sasquatch is vanishingly thin. I want to make sure that you guys understand that I don't have a belief in Sasquatch, but it's a really, really interesting idea to, your beliefs are changeable, right? And what you can do with your beliefs is take them out of the drawer you keep them on, blow the dust off them, hold them up to the harsh light of day, and examine why the things you believe, if they're still serving you, if they ever did, if you only were taught to believe things like this, examine your beliefs first. And it's an interesting question because there have been throughout time instances of things that we didn't know exist suddenly be proven to exist, like say the giant squid.
Yep.
Yeah. So it happens, and it happens with large biological entities. So it's an exercise for me. It's an exercise
in the deep ocean where we've never been.
What's that?
In the deep ocean where we've almost never been.
Yeah, we spend more time on the moon than on the ocean floor at this point. Yeah. So
just saying. Bear country, not so much. But I do.
Jenny, proof positive. I have been to the Sasquatch Museum. # I believe. There you go.
All right. Yeah. No, I think testing the limits of hyper fringe cryptozoology is a very entertaining pursuit.
Right.
It's just unfairly easy for me to swat them down because the evidence is vanishingly thin. But it's also like a good way to sort of train your epistemological methodology, right? Like what do you know and how do you know it as a brain exercise, especially in this universe now where getting gaslit is what we do every day, right? Like the idea that at least in our little community, we're going to spend a lot of time thinking about how we know things and the process through which individually we each kind of go after that stuff. And I think Sasquatch is sort of an entertaining shorthand for that.
Yeah, because it really is. Fred's asking, wasn't the gorilla considered a myth for a very long time? No, you have that absolutely right. Or do I have that wrong? You're absolutely right. Like until somebody pulled a specimen out of the rainforest and brought it to London to be examined on a table. Yeah, till like 1885, gorillas were not proven to exist. They were a myth. There were pictures of them from Rome. There were records of them from ancient Rome, But yeah, they weren't proven to be a living taxonomic species until the 1880s. So it happens. Yeah, and it's an interesting thing for me. Like it really, and like UFOs, it's not the 98% of sightings in the stupid Facebook videos that are clearly, somebody playing around with CGI stuff that get me. It's the 2% of cases that make scientists go, huh, that's odd. The things that make someone who's deeply ingrained in scientific research look at it and go, yeah, that doesn't check out with anything that I understand about, whatever their subject of study is. So yeah, tenured professors in anthropology who take it seriously. That's who interests me. So what can I tell you?
Yes, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, as someone once said.
Yeah, and the only thing that proves this once and for all is somebody shoots one, drags it out of the woods, and puts it on a slab, and then we know. And like one of the things, one of my favorite parts of this exercise is, what if it were proven true? Can you imagine how substantially life would change for us in North America if it were proven to be true? Because if it's a pongid, an ape, that's one level of protection required. But what if it's closer to us than it is to chimpanzees, let's say? That makes them human. That means they have human rights. That means destruction of their habitat and their natural range is a human rights violation. That means all logging and mineral mining stops until we prove out who they are and how many there are and how we can protect them. That's a fascinating idea.
I honestly, I think what we really need to do is make sure we're also protecting the fairy population in Ireland, because I mean, they live underground where the potatoes go, and if we keep farming potatoes, then we're going to be fucking with fairy habitat, and that's going to be a serious problem for fairies.
Do not live underground.
No, they do. That's what I heard.
They live in the deep forests.
Yeah. And then also underground, those rock fairies.
Yeah.
Rock
you're
fairies.
Thinking of trolls, maybe? Or
no. They live next to little gophers in the potato fields. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So here's two interesting laws. In Washington State, it is illegal to harm or kill a Sasquatch by law. It's Washington State law. In Texas, they are considered invasive and are huntable.
Yep. People are also allowed to believe in whatever magical sky king they want.
Yeah.
By law. So that's also fun.
Yeah. So either we need to get rid of those laws or we need laws protecting fairies and unicorns.
Yeah. Now, granted, there are some I think there's some global legal precedent now for a river being awarded
human rights, protected rights. Yeah,
which is really, really interesting to me. And stuff I would love to see more of, even though it sort of like makes your head kind of scrunch up a little bit. I think it's a very good direction. So yeah, we crossed 50,000 dead. So that's fun. It's gonna take about
that's 9 9/11s, 10 9/11s.
Wasn't it like 3,300 that died?
Yeah, it was 3,000.
Yeah. So more like more
bad at math.
Yeah.
So we're still taking off our shoes at the airport because of 9/11.
30 times.
We're still taking off our shoes at the airport because of 9/11, but reopen America.
Yeah.
Fucking priorities.
So for it's 20 days from now is when we're gonna get our next 50,000. And that 20 days is only going to include a little bit of the ramp up from people opening things back up. And then it's probably going to be much faster.
Dave Myers is totally fucking with me now. What if Sasquatch actually exists, but they have a complex secret society of agents, for lack of a better term, that assassinate anyone with credible evidence of their existence?
So I think the only real counterfactual for that is that Greg is still alive.
But I don't have any direct evidence.
Yeah, I bet you do. I bet it's in like a drawer somewhere.
No, I have some really good stories from people that lived in parts of the world where they are said to exist. And
are they still alive?
Yes.
Okay.
But again, they don't have, a body.
Oh, so it's only people that have bodies.
I mean, that's that's what I would consider credible evidence, right? Would be someone who took footprint casts, right? And Jeff Meldrum's still alive. So maybe, maybe he's got some special, like,
maybe he's one of the agents though now.
Yeah, Jeff Meldrum's a professor at Idaho State University that people go to with their evidence so he can prove it or disprove it. So maybe that's what happens. You, hey, Dr. Meldrum, I have some hair samples.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and then
delete.
you know.
Yeah, I have it under good authority that Greg is being watched by the Sasquatch. Wait, we should have to take off our underwear? What? What? Did we just change topics and I missed it? What happened? What happened? That's crazy. Yeah, I had an idea for a TV show one time. Fred saying the unproven claim I think would be awesome is being visited by aliens. I think it would redefine us and them. I think you're right. And I had an idea for a documentary show, sort of a what if show. Every week you would examine a thing that what if this were proven to be true? What if we suddenly learned that there really was a UFO crash in Roswell in 1947? What if the president just opened the books and showed us the evidence and the wreckage itself and any preserved bodies that might exist? How would our lives change if that were made public tomorrow? And I there's a whole bunch of topics you could do this on that would be pretty interesting. What if we found Atlantis?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Yes. So much for science. Oh my goodness. So yeah, the baloney detection kit really doesn't do my case for Sasquatch any good. Yeah, I'm looking through some other headlines here. What do you got, Corey?
Fucking idiots.
Oh, hey, here's one from Scientific American. Should quantum anomalies make us rethink reality?
Probably.
Yeah. Inexplicable lab results may be telling us we're on the cusp of a new scientific paradigm. I'll bet this is going to be about simulation theory. You want to bet?
It's gonna be about multiple worlds.
Yeah. But, by the way, I did finish Devs. I liked it. I really loved it.
Me too.
I didn't have any problem with the ending. It was
No, I didn't have any problem with the ending either. It's just like if it doesn't.
Yeah, you
make
did.
No, if it doesn't make you reevaluate your life, then what the fuck?
Right. Let's see if I can give us the gist here. Every generation tends to believe that its view of nature, of the nature of reality, are either true or quite close to the truth. We are no exception to this, although we know that the ideas of earlier generations were each time supplanted by those of a later one, including turtles. We still believe that this time we have it right. Our ancestors were naive and superstitious, but we are objective, or so we tell ourselves. We know that energy and matter outside and independent of mind is the fundamental stuff of nature. Everything else is being derived from it, or do we? In fact, studies have shown that there is an intimate relationship between the world we perceive and the conceptual categories encoded into the language that we speak. We don't perceive a purely objective world out there, but one subliminally pre-partitioned and pre-interpreted according to the culture-bound categories. For instance, color worlds in a given language shape human perception of color. Color words in a given language shape the human perception of color. A brain imaging study suggests that language processing areas are directly involved even in the simplest discrimination of basic colors. Moreover, this kind of categorical perception is a phenomenon that has been reported not only in color, but for other perceptual continua such as pheromones, musical tones, and facial expressions. Interesting. Yeah, this is a long read, though. Ain't nobody got time for that. Actually, we all have time for that. Just I don't think we want to do the whole thing on our show. Rethink reality. I do that regularly. That's not a thing that I need encouragement to do. I think a lot about the nature of reality.
Yeah, thinking about the nature of reality.
But I also smoke a lot of weed,
and
so
having
those two things.
I guess maybe you're getting like a drip of that, whereas like
Yeah.
I've managed to keep myself a little bit isolated from whether or not any of this has any meaning.
Yeah. Maria says if that were true, Trump would have already blabbed about it to distract. We have the greatest UFO crashes. They're fantastic.
I agree.
Many people, millions of people call him and tell him, sir, thank you for releasing the UFO information.
Yeah, he would do anything to get a news cycle that wasn't about this today.
Jareen, it's perfectly okay. I tried to start devs, but Captain Beefheart documentary that Greg told me about and cartoons won out. We'll have to check it out soon.
Yeah,
Some days you just need some Bugs Bunny.
Fucking A. I can't argue with that at all.
Yeah.
So, oh man, I had thought it's fucking ran away.
Yeah, that's okay.
That was not good.
Yeah, I got nothing. I got no show today. Even though I said we're gonna do a good show on Friday because we have plenty of time to. Yeah, turns out that didn't happen. I was busy yesterday. I ran around like an idiot yesterday getting stuff done. Helping people, getting errands run, getting my laundry done.
So I think I'm gonna short the Dow.
Okay. Because that means you think it's gonna crash further?
Like a lot further. Like it's right around 24 right now. It's gonna go to 16. Like there's no way that it's just gonna go up from here. Just from all the macros, right? Like it's not. I just don't see it as being possible.
Oof. So it's down a bit this morning, huh?
Yeah. But I'm talking about like a 23.5 jump down to a max of like 8,000.
My God.
Yeah, like I honestly, with everything that's going on, if the second wave is even remotely as bad as I think it's going to be, this is like an 80% Bitcoin crash to me. And then what happens? I don't know.
Yeah. Can we talk for a minute about Mitch McConnell saying this week he'd rather see states go the bankruptcy route than hand out more federal money? Because that'll be great. You know, the first thing that's going to collapse, first responder pensions.
Yeah.
The people that are literally taking care of you right now and getting you to the hospital safely and enforcing the law while you're out doing things you're not supposed to be doing are going to be the first people to lose their pensions if that's how things go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, bond market collapse. I mean, has that ever happened?
I mean, it started to in 2008. It started to, and they freaked out.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Bob asked about shorting it out. Basically, like when I first started trading, you couldn't actually short. That was only like for hedge funds and stuff, and specialized traders. Now they've got even on Robinhood, they've got specialized instruments that allow you to basically bet on an upside down Dow. It's the best way to think about it. Like if you look at the chart, if the chart is going down, then your position is going up, and of course vice versa. And I actually found one that normal human beings can use on Robinhood that is 3x. And again, I'm a guitar player, not a fucking financial advisor. Don't fucking take any of the things that I say as gospel and do 18 million tons on, risk analysis before doing anything. But I find that terrifically interesting because it means that you could actually make 3 times as much on the way down and potentially quickly. If there's another round and if I'm right about the economy, which so far I have not been recently wrong, which is great. Fucking A. Everyone's going to suffer.
Yeah. I don't understand the whole concept of shorting. I mean, I get it's weird what you're saying, but how does it? How does that help anybody?
Yeah.
Capital,
it increases liquidity in markets as a whole, which can be a good thing, but it's also pretty fucked up.
Oh, I got my second free stock yesterday for Sam Ronan joined up on my
nice. I also we need to get you up to 4 because then you get an extra free one. So you should throw your link in here. Anybody who wants to support the show can now support the show by hitting either Greg's or my Robinhood link. You don't have to do any trading. You can actually just sign up. You get a free stock and we get a free stock.
You know what my second free one was?
Pretty cool.
XM satellite radio.
Oh yeah,
which is pretty good right now.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
that's not bad. I got Sirius. Oh, Sirius XM. That's the one, right? Siri.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, maybe it was.
Yeah, I got that one too. Actually got an oil stock that's really, really low that I think I'm gonna keep. And again, they're like $3 to $5 or whatever. But apparently, you can sometimes win things like Facebook, which are
right.
Bigger.
I have 10,000. I have $10 in my portfolio right now.
It's good stuff right there.
Yeah. So how do I find my link to?
Probably go to account and then invite and stuff or
Oh
whatever.
yeah. Let me see if that works because I would like to share that
Yeah.
account.
See, Bob.
I don't see anything there. Documents. That's not it. History. Free stocks. Copy link. There it is. There's my referral. I got it. So here's the deal with Robinhood. It's a way for you to play the stock market with very little money. You don't have to buy, big chunks of things. You can buy little bitty chunks of things. And for every person that joins with my referral code that's in there, I get a free stock. And if as Corey said, if I get 2 more.
Yeah, and everyone, and they do too, right? So you get a free stock just for joining.
Right.
Which is
you get a free stock when you join. The 2 that I got are, let me look. One is, as Corey just mentioned, boy, the site is slow. What's going on here? Yeah, the 2 that I have are Sirius XM and WPX Energy, both of which are up slightly since I got them. So that's cool.
There you go.
Yeah. So yeah, you get a free stock when you join. 1 share of a free stock, and make enough money, you could roll those into other stocks and so forth.
I actually, I had a few people join, and I think like the one 3x short is like $32 or something like that to right now, like as like a singular thing. And so I put it in that. And if legitimately, if it does the worst case scenario, that could be worth 300 inside 6 months.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But that kind of 3x trading leverage the way that it is, that's where you have to be prepared to lose all of that to trade like that, because that's definitely something that can happen.
Yeah, Dave's saying keep meaning to join and just sink as much money as I can into anything oil related, guaranteed to make money if we're at the bottom.
Yeah, that's not at all certain. And again, like I developed some oil positions this week out of the same theory, just kind of small tester ones compared.
Well, my favorite guitar player, singer, songwriter did it, so obviously we should all test that way. You're more expert than you let on, so I was just kind of making fun of you a little bit. Is all I was doing.
All right. Yeah, I just think like I've been looking into the way that these instruments work. You're not actually buying oil; you're buying oil futures contracts, and those futures contracts can go really, really badly if oil is stuck out in the ocean and can't be delivered because all the storage is full. Which I think is why oil dropped the way it did this last time, and I think why it's probably going to do the same thing in the middle of May or March or whatever fucking next.
Meanwhile, I put $10 worth of gas in my car yesterday and got 3/4 of a tank.
That's fun.
I can't remember the last time that happened.
Yep. Yeah, I do think to Dave's point though, I do think that over 12 months it's definitely going to beat the market.
Right.
Which whether it makes 10% or 50%.
So here's the thing that I want to make sure that I say, that I am well connected to the local people who are actually phone banking on behalf of Democratic candidates, not just Joe Biden, but down the ticket, including our friend Brandy Goyette, who's running for county commission. She's running up against a petition deadline. If you're not a registered voter in Pasco County, you really can't help her that way, but you could make a donation to her campaign, which if she has to pay the fee to run, if you can't get the number of petitions you need to pay, and it's something like $5,000 for a county commission candidates because it's every voter in the county. It actually takes less money to run for a state legislative or even federal legislative seat in my county than it does to run for county commission, because it's not by district. Every voter votes on the county commissioners. So there are local candidates you can support. Our friend Danny Indonino is running against Amber Mariano, who has been incredibly quiet throughout this COVID emergency. Hiding out in her ivory tower where she's protected from all things, and hasn't been out, helping people or talking about our homeless issue and how it's going to get worse in this. So we need to replace her with somebody that would be responsive to what the constituents in their constituency actually want, need, and talk about. You could help us replace Gus Bilirakis, our congressman, who was Last seen on a plane flying back to Washington very seriously to vote on new small business administration matters with his face mask on below his nose, because
Yeah.
that's
Because
how you fucking do that.
he knows how they work. That's cool. That's
Dummies.
cool. That's cool.
So there's
That
lots
is
you can do, and we all need to be doing it. You know, we can't invent a time machine just yet, but we can make sure that in November we give Trump his walking papers, and we begin the hard and arduous work of rebuilding our country in a way that suits us currently. And the best bet for that is having a Democrat in the White House and control of the Senate. And by the way, the Senate polling is looking really good right now.
Yeah.
But if we don't get people out to
anyway.
vote for president, then they're not going to vote down ticket, right? So you need to think of this in two ways. That you know, getting people out to vote for the presidency also helps down ticket candidates, and voting for down ticket candidates is probably more going to have more of an effect on your daily life than the presidency is in normal times. That may not be true in this particular election cycle, but we got work to do.
Agreed.
Oh, cool. Boxer Cat joints. You got a Cody stock. Cody is the makeup company, I believe, worth $6.18. Nice. Yeah,
That's
mine are worth
pretty good.
$3.75 and $4.25 is what mine worked out to. So that's pretty cool. Hey, does that mean I get a referral if you use my thing?
She might have used mine for before.
Oh, fine. I see.
No, it's first.
Okay, Corey.
That's what
Okay.
I do.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a message yesterday. WPX Energy, good news. Your one share of WPX Toronto has settled, and it can now be traded. So I can sell it if I wanted to. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's good. Hey, it's almost 11 o'clock, and I'm like, I'm ready to go curl up on the couch and eat some ice cream and play Minecraft. I'm building the Darwin fish, by the way.
Oh, you're building that already?
Yeah.
Cool.
Here's the downside: is I wanted to make it green, like, you know, sort of salamander-like fish thing coming out of the water with little legs.
Yeah.
But I can't make steps or slabs out of anything green. Like only the wood or stone products can do that. Oh, never mind.
Make it green. I was thinking about white for some reason. I don't know why. Just like a marble fucking insanity. But
no, it's gonna be like a real live looking fish with the giant Darwin down the side of it. Did you not see the screenshot? Did I send you the screenshot?
I did see the screenshot. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm working on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh
yeah, the SDAO. I'm fascinated.
The what?
By the ProShares Ultra Pro Short DAO 30.
I have no idea. If those are all words.
Those are, well, they're kind of words. Some of them are sort of just made up. Yeah, so it's leverage. So basically, every dollar the DAO goes down, I gain $2 or $3. Sorry.
Jeez.
Yeah, but it also means that if it were to go up 30%, I would lose everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Would
so
you
it's
owe
important
them
to
money?
understand. No. It just closes it out once it hits
goes out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Boxer Cat, this is what you wanted to tell us. I received a cancellation for National Park Campground in August. National Park Service is expecting a second wave, methinks. Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Yeah, I keep trying to figure out like not doing that. Actually, Casey, I would love to because you're smarter with the shit than I am, to throw my current market theories at you in a private discussion. Because I think the market's gonna fucking bail hard.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about your camping trip.
Me too. That's actually important.
I have half a plan. Somebody wants to take me to Charleston for my birthday this year in June. There's a restaurant there run by an amazing chef named Sean Brock. There are actually two restaurants, but the one called Husk, he is a Southerner, and he is deeply invested now in preserving Southern food strains like rice strains and bean strains that are localized and aren't big, and there are not enough of them grown to be industrially sustainable agriculture. So he's farming and paying farmers to grow grains that have pretty much disappeared from Southern diets for the past 100 years and making astonishingly good haute cuisine food from them. So the restaurant's called Husk, and I've always wanted to go there. And somebody's trying to buy me a trip to Charleston for my birthday to go eat at Husk. And I think that would be amazing. But now I'm like, it's almost May, and I'm not even sure, Charleston's going to be open by the time we get to June. So May have to put that one off. Yeah. Casey Marion's insightful post is market's going to tank bigly.
I mean, yep.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I can't find anything that would hold it up except for hot air. And it's not like there isn't a lot of that.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So do you have your computer available to you today?
I do right now.
You should get on the Minecraft server, see all the cool shit I've done.
I was thinking about doing that.
Yeah. Let's meet up in there.
Okay,
did some cool stuff.
I gotta try and get Rody to eat because he said
give him a steak for God's sake. You know he deserves it.
Honestly, like I'm seriously thinking about just feeding him straight chicken because he doesn't want to eat. He's got to take all these drugs for his year and all. I gotta sell these.
Separate him from Brian and feed him good.
Yeah, I gotta sell these dogs.
You know what?
I gotta sell them. We could get some glue money for him. I think.
Well, if the food chain ggets interrupted much more.
I was kidding. It was a joke.
I'm just saying. My neighbors have yappy little dogs,
right? Yeah, about 3 or 4 months is like,
Yeah, it'd be like a Bugs Bunny cartoon where you're in a lifeboat with the other guy and you just keep picturing him as a roasted turkey carcass. All right, guys, I'm ready to wrap it up. I'm going to go do some serious leisure time stuff today. My work is done for the week. I'm free until like Monday. So I'm going to do some serious power lounging and try not to think too much, which is
power lounging.
Power lounging. Yes.
I like it.
Like, concerted effort to relax.
Oh, I like it.
Because I can't do anything. I can't just, I'm perfectly fine. I just need somebody throwing hand grenades at me. I'm good. All right. So you ready to get out of here? Yeah. See you in the Minecraft server. Let's go in there and do some cool shit.
All right. Yeah.
By the way, for those that don't know, we host the Minecraft server. We moved it to a paid server, which is way, way better. And it's a cool place to be. So if you want to download the Minecraft Java edition, and it's going to cost like $25, and get in and learn how to do Minecraft in a world that's pretty safe, doesn't have a lot of monsters and shit that can kill you. You could drown, or you could die in lava, or you could fall from a height and die. But otherwise, it's a pretty safe way to learn how to play Minecraft. And there's just tons of free stuff laying around for you in our server, tools and materials to build things. So we'd love to have you in there.
Yes,
and
seconded.
We want to start raising the population of that server, get a lot more people in there.
And all hail Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda. All right. We love you guys. And as we proved today on Science Day, once again, that Sasquatch is real.